From here all the way to the river, we call it the Ancestral Walkway or the Ancestral Route. Here our ancestors who were held captives and brought here for their auctioning or for sale had to be taken to the river to take their bath. So from here all the way they walked barefoot, almost naked, and were receiving whips. So mostly whenever we get our brothers and sisters back, we encourage them to walk the same way their ancestors did, by putting their foot on the floor or on the ground, walking barefoot to the river. It is to signify or to appreciate what the ancestors has done for them. It's a sign of paying homage to them and for them to know who you are and then to acknowledge what you are doing here. And then also if you have something in your heart that they wish to answer, they can use this particular thing that you are doing, just like we do in our traditional home, to bless you and all that. That's why we are doing this. So we will walk as we are because of the weather. We will walk. It's not compulsory. We don't impose on people to do it. So we are going to walk as we are now to the river where they had their last ever bath. Let's go. Right here at the Slave Riverside. The whole perimeter was used as the auctioning center back in the days. Behind me we have the last bath, and it's painted in black. The black there signified the dark ages when our ancestors had to be brought here for them to take their last ever bath. Down there we have the river, but this is two different rivers. From my left we have the Ochi River flowing all the way from Ochimai. And then on my right we have the Nonkonsio. The Nonkonsio is the Slave River. Nonko or Donko means slave or slaves. So that was where our ancestors took their last ever bath. When they got here, there used to be a very tall silk cotton tree here. The silk cotton tree has a nature that it has thorns all around it to the top. And when they got here, because of their numbers, they had to chain some of them around the tree, with a sense that anytime one of them tried to escape, he or she will be pulling the chain. And once you pull the chain, you pull the next person close to you to the thorns, and the thorns will pierce the person. And you will be forced to let go for the person to feel free and then have a rest. The rest were taken to the river. In the river, they were still in chains and shackles. On their ankles, they added the cannonball, a metal ball to that of the chains around their ankles, to hold them still in the river, to prevent them from escaping. Whilst they were there busy and then calmly taking their bath, the raiders had to cut the bamboos very long enough. With the help of the itchy leaves of these bamboos, they were using that to scrub them in the river. That particular act was giving them bruises all over their bodies. After that, they were brought out here, lined up, allowed to dry. Once their bodies dried off, they apply shea butter or palm oil on them, just for them to look more presentable and attractive for the merchants who are coming from the castles to come here and purchase them. Here, they were classified as commodities. And those who were bought were branded. The very first branding happened right here, and then the subsequent ones took place in the various castles. Some of them happened to get 2 to 3 brandings before they left the continent, because some people came here as middlemen to purchase them and then go out there to sell them. The branding is done in a way that they use the metal rod with the initials of whoever is buying you. So the initial is designed with metal. All they have to do is that they'll put that metal in the fire, heat it up until it turns red. They will use it to scorch your skin. It's either on your chest, your shoulder, or right on your forearm, just to give you the mark of belonging to a master. After all that was done, the buying and selling, some people were left in the chains and they were classified as useless commodities. For that matter, they did not set them free. We know that whenever we go to the grocery shops and then we pick our nice tomatoes and then the groceries, after picking the nicer ones, the leftovers are mostly dumped. So for these people, since they were classifying our ancestors as commodities, those useless ones that they claim are useless to them were left here, and then a group was invited with guns and then they shot them dead. After killing them, they made their way across the river. In between the bamboo is a portion we call the Ancestral Slave Dumping Site. That's because most people would like to call it the cemetery. But for me personally, I find it difficult to call it a cemetery because a cemetery requires digging up a grave and covering it. They did not cover any grave. They only used the pits. After dumping them there, they move on to go raid and come and sell again. So down there, whenever we go down, we fetch some of the water in our palms, and as it drips, we thank our ancestors for how far they have brought us. Then we move to the first bath of return. It's painted in white because of its significance. We believe that our brothers and sisters who are coming back home need to take a cleansing bath. We call it the Sankofa Rebirth process. Through here, we go down there for you to wash your hands, your feet, sometimes you wash your hairs. It's to signify you're coming back home and then you're cleansing. That you are now whole again and you have come back home to your roots. At least you now know where you came from, the land on which your ancestors were robbed and then took all the way to the other world. When we get down there, after performing all these rites, you are asked to meditate on your own. Say whatever you wish to say to your ancestors, because we believe the spirits are still here with us. After you are done, then we go all the way to the other side. In the year 2005, we had a visit from a group called the Enyumunyam Group, led by the renowned Dr. Naim Akbar. When they stepped in the river there, one of them felt something stingy. So the thing was funny for the person who found that particular thing. So as curious as they were, they decided to bring it out, because no one has ever been here and then felt that particular thing before. So when they went in there, dragged the thing out, it was a chain that was attached to a cannonball that was found in the river. We believe that one of our ancestors who might have been in that particular chain might have drowned in there, and after decades, after centuries of being down there, the body has decomposed, leaving the chain there to be found. We have it at the site. When we get there, I will show you to you.